Show it who's boss. Bob, there's cat poop everywhere.
Cat poop. You're gonna make somebody mad. Somebody got on you yesterday for that. You think it's summertime out here?
I just busted out my shorts.
We're not in Florida anymore.
Oh.
Have you guys been watching my videos? You know I bought this D7 in Florida, didn't I? And you left.
I did.
So I bought this thing at an auction. It was not running at the time I bought it. It was run out of fuel. It's a good old D7F, but there's actually a second video of me going down there and getting this dude running at the auction. So got fuel back in it, did fire it up. It's actually an US Navy piece, so what are we gonna do?
I don't know.
It looks like you painted it. Not really. It looks good from the camera, but somebody did a decent paint job on it. But that's all they did. They did not service it or do nothing else. I see we got a bolt out of a track pad. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to go through, service this thing. Transmission oil is dirty. Check the finals. We're just going to go through the tractor because we know nothing about it. It does look pretty, but I guarantee you the insides is not pretty. So
Did they paint a tree up here?
did you paint a tree? Kevin did not paint this.
Is that all dirt? That's black now?
That's just yeah, that might be the oh, there is,
With some tree limbs.
there is a tree. Oh, there's a metal piece that's raised up in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I was just checking.
they taped that grill off and painted it, didn't they?
Yeah.
So we usually take stuff off like that. We take the belly pans off when we clean these and paint these. These people did not do this, hence all the yellow dirt in there, which is not too terrible. So
Oh.
what we're gonna do is,
Still kind of go out in the dirt and get dirty.
I put a gallon of oil on it at the auction. It's nice and black. She's not been serviced. I got all new filters. We're gonna throw new oil in it. We're gonna flush the radiator out, all that good stuff. So you think it's gonna start? It's got good undercarriage. You got the old US Navy tag here. It's a 1973 model, making it 50 years old.
Why is the belly pan half off?
I don't know. We didn't have enough bolts to put it on. What Kevin's talking about is this right here. I noticed that at the sale. And the shifters, you know, froze up like they always are. And basically somebody tried to win us over at the auction.
And they did it, didn't they? You got a soft spot for them old machines.
It's like, what was that? We won't tell people we were shooting clay pigeons yesterday out here. Anyway. Is it gonna start?
I'm gonna go ahead and say negative.
Oh, a preheater. Did you unload this off a trailer when I got here?
I was here when it was unloaded.
Oh, how'd that go?
The delivery guy, he loved it. He really wanted to drive it, and I said, "You can have it."
Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh. Not enough battery, bud. We're gonna need a jumper. We got more juice now?
We're about to. Give it to it.
Oh, I'm gonna preheat it a little bit again. Just run our jump pack right the heck down. She ain't getting no fuel, bud.
Huh.
Oh, we got a fuel leakage problem. Did you guys siphon all my fuel out? It says it's got fuel. It's weird. Cosby sauce? What's the matter with it? Oh, I don't know what's going on. If we got a fuel leak, we're gonna spray a little ether down it. Alright, Kevin went to go get another jump pack. Got one. Those batteries are pretty dead, but I don't know if we've got a fuel leak or what we got going on. It's leaking somewhere. It may have a hole in the line or something. I think it's lost its prime again, but we're just gonna try to get her fired up and get it in the shop here for now. Then we'll see what's going on with her.
Show it who's boss.
Alright, you guys probably seen this track is super loose. It was down in 4-2. Got the door off. We're jacking it up or tightening it up here with the grease gun, so I'm not sure. The seal could be out. You guys watched, we actually replaced the seal on one of these a while back. You can see that green line right there. It's moving out slowly, so what I'm going to do, we'll tighten this track up, and we'll have to get, once we get it outside, we'll run it around again some more and see if that thing's holding. You don't really know what's going on. I don't see any grease leaking right around there closely. But somebody may not know how to tighten it up. So we're going to tighten it up and we'll run it around. If it holds, that's great. If it don't, then we'll have to take it apart and throw some seals in it. Alright, we got the track sag about where it needs to be. This still has the door in it. Nice and clear. It says 1.5 to 2 inches, so might put an arrow on there. Yep. Kevin marked that thing, so when we get out driving around later, we'll know if it's slid back at all. So I don't know if you guys can see this right here. That's blue paint. Where I said it was US Navy.
Big blue bolt.
This thing would have been all blue. I've never had one. I've had, the Navy has a little different shade of green, but I didn't know they did some blue ones, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For sure. That's definitely not a factory color. Tractor's really clean when you got nameplates and stuff like that showing up. It's still clear.
Oh yeah.
Alright, what are we doing next?
We're going down to the pit.
Yeah, so we're got to get all the oil drained out of this thing because Randy's going to need this pit tomorrow with the forklift. So we're going to get all the major fluids drained out so we can bring it back over here and do the rest of the work on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready to get oily?
Oh yeah.
Alright, we're down here under the pit. I'm going to show you guys some things. You see these rock guards. We don't see any cutting or grooving where the tracks have been loose on there. Same thing with this. The final drives don't have any big scars. That all indicates low hours. Is that right?
Low.
We're not, we got some scrapes in the belly pan, but this stuff in here is nice and straight as an arrow. If I was to guess, this tractor don't have too much time on it. I don't know if we can get the hour meter upper cleaned off. Somebody painted over it. It was not here. I'm guessing it's 1,500 hours or less, probably. So, what are we doing first? We got the big old tranny up here. We got engine oil. Looks like a mess.
I want to see you manhandle that belly pan.
Why is the belly pan not attached all the way? Do we know
What's behind door number 1?
There's good threads in the holes. No reason not to be tight.
We're about to find out.
About to find out, huh? Alright, we got the belly pan. It tightened right up. We got new bolt in it there. We got this side tightened up. I don't think it's going to fall out. We're draining the engine oil out. These have a gate valve, is what I call them. All the Caterpillars are like this. I don't know if they changed it or not, but there's a hole up in there. It's a 9/16 headed screw, and basically you unscrew it and it will let the oil come out. So 9/16 will do it all. Okay, I already got it broke loose. Kevin's going to open it up. Is she moving?
Yep.
Yep, there she comes.
She stopped.
She stopped, huh?
Got that wrench?
Yeah.
I could do a little bit of opening.
You're gonna get that opened up. We'll drain it out, and then we'll drain the transmission out. I've checked it down in Florida and stuff. I don't think it's been changed for a long time. It's not dirty. I mean black, but it is dirty. So we'll drain it here, and we'll check the finals. If they look bad, then we'll drain those also. So. All right, we got the engine oil drained out. We're gonna drain the tranny out while we're down here. And move on up. Are you ready for a chocolate fountain of goodness? And get that broke loose first. See how big a boy you are. Oh, putting out that manpower today, bud. How you feel about it? A lot of wool behind that. It's a little dark. At least there's no water in it. Alright, got all the tranny oil drained out. We got the antifreeze drained out. We're going to clean, flush it out. Kevin's got a new secondary filter. He's on the little primary one up there. And I'm going to pop the top off. This is a transmission suction screen filter. Then we've got transmission filter under the seat. There's a hydraulic filter in the tank. Both those two filters are the same number. Alright, there's a little, this one's actually a stainless steel cleanable one. A little bit of stuff in there, it's not bad.
Good.
Is she running out on you?
I got the bleeding stopped with my hand right now, doctor.
A new filter going in there, it wasn't too bad.
Good.
Surprise, there you go. I got that all primed up. Let's see what's in door number 2 here. Oh, she's in there. This oil is very, very old and smelly.
Yep.
So this is a suction screen filter. It's got magnets inside of it. You guys are seeing a little bit of stuff, but that is not uncommon. I'm guessing that may have never been out before. It's hard telling. I'm looking for big chunks. A little piece of a gear there, which again is not uncommon on a big old bulldozer. A lot of that is fines. Magnets are doing their job. Not bad. Wish you guys could smell this because it's old and tarnished. Isn't it?
It is.
Smell-o-vision. Wouldn't surprise me, it's never been changed in its life. So we'll get that cleaned up. We'll stick her back in there and we'll change the transmission filters. Go from there. Alright, got everything cleaned up, looking a lot better. No more black.
You did good work.
Black gold. Someplace got to work around here.
Yeah, well.
These say this side out, so you can only put them in. Well, I guess you can put them in both ways, but there's a reason why they say that. So we're gonna get that stuff back on there. Did you change oil filter yet? Look, somebody was nice enough to paint the muffler.
Well, that's awfully nice.
You know that's gonna burn off. We still got to do the transmission filter too. Alright, we're back under the seat here. We got the transmission filter under here. This is a dipstick there, and we got the fill right there. Dark in here. Show you, it's got blue paint here behind the seat. More Navy stuff. Crow's foot. I need a hook on the end. Somebody's been in there? Thing's a little nasty. Alright, got the filter changed. That one you can see. It's a little old and nasty. I wonder if there's a date on that thing. Oh, that's an old school Wix label there, bud. You guys can see that. Get the light right. That label is stamped in there. That filter is a couple days old. Kevin's putting a new air filter in. I'm done under here. I guess we'll throw this, take this lid off his transmission tank and check it too, Kevin. You know, one thing we got to do is check this shifter linkage here too. Gotta get it freed up. Oh, bud. She had the pressure on her. Just made a mess. That pan there. Good thing the oil's nice and clean. Hey, you're full. Thank you, sir. Oil looks good. Nice and clean and clear.
Put a little wax on the side of this too?
Yeah, not my paint job. Done. All right. Been working under the seat. We got the shifter freed up. Looks like you should. I noticed this thing at the auction, this lever. See how that one's tight? This one's flopping around like a fish. So it looks like we've got some broken parts or a pin missing. What happens is these things sit and people can't get stuff to move, and then they just start taking stuff apart. Well, last time you did this, you scared me with the old hand that come up through there.
You want to do that?
It's not spooky Halloween time anymore.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Oh, look. What do we tape up here? It's kind of weird. Huh. So.
Oh, there were some holes.
Oh, so is that how we fix them? Did they put Bondo over top of them? Yeah. That's right. Is that how body men do stuff? So there were some holes in that panel, and they put tape under them.
That's called a backing material.
Packing material.
Yeah.
And then they, yeah,
Then you just put your filler in there.
just leave that alone. All right, we're missing parts here, Bubby. Here it is, right back here. So this arm,
let's get that.
fit back here.
Oh,
Why didn't they just fix that?
we just need a clevis.
Yep. So this is, I don't know why. Yeah, it's just a 1/2-inch clevis pin. We'll put that back in there and she'll be golden. That must have fell out or something. Somebody didn't know it. It's the simple things.
Clinton, you have really outdone yourself this time.
You like that weld job?
Yeah. Did you use your flux core wire with that?
That's what you call the bubble gum machine there, bud.
Did you set that on like sheet metal?
I think the body shop guy did that.
No.
Alright, Kevin's got a new pin. We'll get it stuck in there. Get this all fixed up and brand new like. That cotter pin was in this side over here, bud.
What's it now?
Don't drop it. Alright, we got that fixed up there. I did check final drive this side. I wouldn't, hang on here, bud. Okay, I couldn't put out enough, so I had to call man in for a job.
A tiny little one?
How's that going? Oh yeah.
World Eagle Power!
How'd that go for you? Did we break the Carlisle ratchet? Do we want to tell these people we got something very exciting coming up? We can't tell them though. It's got to be a surprise.
That's got to be a surprise.
So we've got a pretty big major surprise. Going to be a future giveaway.
And I'm not pregnant.
You're not pregnant.
I know y'all were wondering.
So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
She's full to the brim. Not too bad looking.
Ooh.
Starting out to be a pretty nice tractor so far.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Alright, got busy yesterday and I got tied up this morning, but we did get all the oil and stuff put back in. Got her fired up, brought her out here, put some more fuel in it. She's been running a while. Notice we got a leak up under there from the transmission. So I'm going to run it around for a couple minutes and see if these tracks stay tight. And we're going to have to pull it in the shop and look at that leak. It's been running for over an hour. Alright, she's got paint burning off of her and everything else. See all that smoke over there? The belts are loose on the fan. You see all that paint burning off. So I'm gonna We gotta move some stuff inside the shop here. She's starting to leak a little bit more. And figure out that transmission leak, but yeah, it's just paint burning off that thing. Looks like we got a injector line leak in there too. Could be part of our fuel problem. Check that out. But, we're gonna have to. It's actually Friday here, and I got some stuff to do, but we'll be back on this thing Monday. We'll get pulled in the shop and check those leaks, but that track stayed in place. This one stayed in place. It's actually out a little bit farther, so it's a good sign so far. I'd want to run around some more and check it out, but we'll be back Monday and see what we're leaking at. All right, got the dozer back in here, and after running a little while, you guys can see we got some cylinders leaking. So unfortunately, you gotta rebuild some cylinders. That's not fun, is it, bud?
I'm not here.
I think we've got plenty of experience doing this, and you guys seen us do this quite a few times. But I'm not going to bore you through the whole process. If you want to go back and see all those cylinders getting rebuilt on the previous D7s, you can check out the previous videos. But we'll set you guys up on time lapse so you can see us thrash around. We're going to rebuild all three of these. I believe we got the packing kits in stock, and then we'll fix that leak back here. So one thing I was going to show you guys too, this tractor's a Caterpillar D7F, and it has a D7G blade on it. The packing kits are all for a D7G, which I don't know what for. If you guys noticed in the video, this blade was leaned back quite a bit. They had it cranked all the way back. This rod right here was it was all the way back here. So you can see we extended about 2.5 inches, but what that does, that controls the pitch of the blade. So if it's laid real far back, it's going to help it in soft ground. It won't go in. If you got hard ground, you want that blade laid forward. So we usually try to set them in a happy medium. We may have to lengthen that rod out a little bit more. That's why you see these turnbuckles here on these. You take that and spin that, but there's threads inside of here. But it's pretty amazing all that stuff's still working and turning. Kind of jives out with low hours. But something else weird on this machine too, if you watch my previous videos, all the D7Fs that I've ever had have a big hump in the hood right here. And the reason for that, they had the blade lift hoses come up over here and went to this center trunnion here. But this has more like a D7G style hood, but this still has a D7F style steering. About the only difference between the Fs and the Gs is 20 horsepower and the way they steer, basically. The Gs, you can just pull that handle out there. It's going to apply the clutch and then the brake. These upper handles are just a clutch, and then you have to hit the brake pedals to make a pivot turn. So in the Gs, they put all that into the handles up there. But kind of weird. Something maybe the US Navy ordered up that way. Who knows? Along the way. So something I wanted to point out. Did you
Did you do it right?
Mason, did you get the hose hooked? You know how nice it is having somebody else to blame this stuff on?
Mason! Yeah.
We're going to fire this dude up, maybe.
Why'd you do that, Kevin?
Oh boy. We need some floor dry there, Mason.
Yeah.
What did you do that for?
That was all Kevin or you.
So we're going to fire this thing up, make sure they got the hoses hooked up the right way, and plus I'm going to suck it back so we can get it hooked up there in the blade. throwing some new gauges in there. A bunch of them's fogged up. Hey, you're in the way for the shot. You got a fan how white your gauges, bud. That one looks like it's upside down. So replacing the water, engine oil pressure, transmission temperature, and fuel pressure. They're gonna look pretty again so we can read them, know what's going on. They're all mechanical gauges. We're getting those put in there. And we're about ready to take this thing out and run it again. Still got to figure out the fuel issue. I'm not sure. I think the starter's not turning over very quick either, so we may have to get a new starter for it before we start diving into that fuel system. Alright, so we took this thing out and run it a little bit more. We got all the leaks fixed. All the gauges are working, everything. I did, so we know this track adjuster was backed off and I was testing out there, so I took it out against our loading dock and was banging this track up against here and actually gotten some of the concrete here, so I have to touch that up. But I was basically banging on that track trying to get that seal to blow, but as you guys can see here, we didn't move at all, so feel pretty confident about that. I did the same thing to the other side. I banged it up there probably 10 or 12 times pretty hard against that concrete wall. She held up good. We got like 3 track bolts to replace we're missing, and we replaced a couple fuel lines. We had a leak in this fuel line. It was going up to the gauge. It had a real tiny pinhole in it, so I'm hoping that might have fixed our starting problem. If not, we'll see in the morning here and see how it does. So, what you working on over here, Tucker?
My truck done broke.
When'd you find this in the junkyard?
Yeah, it's dusty.
Putting a brand new vacuum pump on it?
Yeah, I'm struggling today. That's why you don't work.
See, now everybody's gonna want to buy your truck because it's in this video.
Well, they're not buying my truck.
Not for sale. Alright, we're back. You guys know we had a few broken track bolts that were missing. This one's even so good the painter painted it. But it wasn't you.
That's right.
So we didn't have quite the right exact track bolts. So we had a bunch of 850Js. They have a bigger shoulder on them here. These require a straight 3/4 inch bolt all the way down. So I just simply put these on the lathe and turned that shoulder down to fit in that hole. It's like brand new, huh?
That's right.
So this thing's been sitting overnight. It's the next day now. We're gonna see if this thing fires up on its own. Remember, we was having a little bit of that fuel issue. I'm not for certain, but I think this starter may not be spinning over fast enough. So if she doesn't fire up like I want it to here this morning, we'll probably we're gonna run around and get it warm again, and probably have guys take the starter off of it and we'll get a new starter for it, but before we go messing with the fuel system. But we had that one leak on the fuel pressure gauge there. I'm hoping that's what our issue was. So we're gonna see if Mason can put a starter on.
All right. Will it start video?
You gotta preheat it, buddy.
Oh. Okay.
Should I get my special saucer? Just
No.
in case?
No Cosby sauce allowed.
You ready?
Yep. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Alright, got all the track bolts replaced. I've been running around some more getting it warm. I'm still not happy with how it's starting, so I got it warm. Shut it off. If you shut it off and start it right back up, she fires up like she should. If you let it sit for a minute or two, it does not fire up. It's not smoking out the pipe or nothing, but we do have a fuel leak up here, and I think we may have figured out what the issue is. We've got fuel leaking out. This is actually the hour meter. This is how they read the hours on the old engines. Pretty sure there's not supposed to be fuel up there, is there?
No.
So that thing is filled full of fuel and it's leaking out here. So what I'm guessing is we have a seal blowed out of the front of this pump. Now I don't believe it's putting diesel fuel in the crankcase because it's never been over full. It's not overfilled now. So there's probably another seal up there, I'm assuming. But I believe we have fuel in that housing, and I don't think we should. I'm not sure, so I'm not a kitty cat mechanic, are you?
No.
Or there may be fuel in that housing because I see lines going in there, but maybe there's a seal right here.
Ooh, that'd be really nice, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. But you know what? This video is getting pretty long. that's going to be another day. So I'm happy with the rest of the Dozer. We got everything fixed on it, other than just that little starting issue. We got that little fuel leak, so we're gonna have to get our kitty cat book out because I'm not familiar with this old style pump at all. And now that I see this, Kevin, we do have fuel, primer fuel going in there.
Oh boy.
So maybe we've just lost a seal on the hour meter here.
Yes.
That might be simple enough too. So we could
I'm
take
getting
it.
more and more excited every second.
We could take that off and see what's up there on the old hour meter. Maybe that's all it is. I tell you what, I'm gonna go get the book real quick, and we're gonna see if there's supposed to be fuel in that housing. Maybe it's just to seal out the hour meter right here.
Maybe.
We couldn't get that lucky.
Yeah, we could.
We'll be right back. All right, we're not cat mechanics and don't claim to be, do we?
No.
So we pulled the hour meter off here. This is actually the fuel lift pump, I believe, and it is leaking fuel out here. I don't know if you guys can see that red liquid coming out, but it's got off-road diesel coming out of it, which it should not. So the seal is out of the little lift pump. Do we think it's going to fix our problem?
Yes.
We're hoping so.
That's
We're
right.
going to take this in the shop. We're going to clean it up a little bit better. And I may have another one out there we can borrow for this project.
Woohoo.
Right over there.
That one won't run.
That one won't run. Hey, you might make sure this thing's not gushing fuel out. Now that thing's off there. We got the little lift pump off there, and Mason actually took the hour meter apart. We cleaned it up. It's showing 163 hours. You guys can see that. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but I did pull the lift pump apart. All it is, let me find where the seals went. I think I threw them in my pocket. Yep. So there's just 3 little seals in there. 2 of them's the same, and there's one that's different. So it's just a simple gear-driven pump. That's all it is. So Caterpillar up in Indy's actually got the seals in stock. So I got to go up to Indy here today anyway. So I'm gonna swing by and pick them up, and hopefully we should be good to go in the morning. So I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing that was our fuel problem. So we'll get those and we'll get it rebuilt.
Bob, there's cat poop everywhere.
Cat poop. You're gonna make somebody mad. Somebody got on you yesterday for that.
Sorry.
All right, we're pulling in here to McAllister Cat here in Indianapolis to pick up some seals for a kitty cat. This is I don't know, it's only a couple, 2 or 3 years old. They moved. It's a pretty nice facility. All kinds of stuff. There's all the little bitty stuff here. So they got their buildings kind of like it's something you'd see out west. It's kind of cool looking. They spend a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Fancy.
Parts. Well, there's no parts today, bub.
Oh, boy.
Are they closed?
We'll go in there.
Pretty nice building, bud. Hey, this is what you need.
Robo mower. Usually big.
All right, we're back. Got our seals. We had to do some running up in Indy yesterday to get some other stuff, but I got stuff cleaned up here. We're gonna get these new seals put in here. Throw this thing on the old Dozer. See if she works again. Alright, got the little transfer pump put back on there. Hopefully she all works good. I'm going to show you something. This is that original hour meter. It had 193 hours or whatever on it. We're going to put it back on there because you can still read it. But, you know, this is a 50-year-old tractor, and even back then, you guys can see that. That thing is made in London, England. So, yeah, not everything is made in the United States, not even way back then. So, made by the English Numbering Machines Company in London, England. 4 Caterpillar tractors. That's an oldie. Just goes to show you that a lot of stuff's been coming from overseas for a long time. I'll just look into this a little bit longer. Something else that's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it says 1900 engine RPMs for 60 minutes equals 1 count. Now, so that tells me if you're not running this thing over 1900, this meter is not going to read any hours. So that might be why it's only showing 193 hours. So I've never seen that, never looked at. These are always on the bottom where you can't see that tag, but the way I'm reading it says 1900 engine RPM for 60 minutes equals 1 count, or 1 hour. So if you don't have this dude up to 1900 RPM, this thing's not going to register. So it's kind of weird. So later on, I had what they call a Hobbs switch. You actually had to see, like, say 4 or 5 pounds of oil pressure before it would light up the oil pressure or the hour meter gauge in the dash. But this is the old mechanical style. But that's very interesting for sure. Alright, we're going to bleed the fuel out of this dude here one more time. There's no air in there, but I had the fuel shut off in the tank, so I turned that back on, but I'm going to give it a little pumper a few times, try to fire it back up, and see what happens. Take this back plate off to shut the fuel off. I did notice that yesterday it was the left brake was down just a little bit more than the other, so I took this plate off here. We're going to tighten this a couple clicks, maybe 3 clicks. We'll go up and see how that brake pedal feels. It was down a little bit lower than the other one. Almost the same. I'm going to give this one more click and it should be good. I'll go 2 for good measure. That's all there is to adjusting the brake. Got the left side, you got the right side over there. Pretty simple little deal, it's just 9/16. Alright, so I shut her off, let her sit in here for a while. We're going to see if she starts back up like she should. She's been having problems starting. I shouldn't have to preheat it. We'll see what happens. Better? I like that. Alright, that's going to be wrapping this dude. I think we got her where she's starting up good now. Must have that little bit of leak in that fuel pressure gauge, and that fuel pump's leaking. We got that rebuilt. She all seems good now. Ran her out here a few more times. We're gonna let Mr. Randy work his magic on it, get this thing cleaned up, and I do believe we have this one sold already to a YouTube viewer. So stick around. I might do a trucking video hauling it over there. It's kind of somewhat local. So, but you guys like the little D7 Fixer Up series, give me a big thumbs up if you like that. Hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps me out a lot so we can keep doing this. And as always, you got any comments, drop them down below. And you want to see more cool stuff like this, you might consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the next cool videos, because you never know what we might get in.